Did you know that you can join the Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Justin joined the Patreon for $1, and they left a question. Thank you, Justin. Potential spoiler territory for a 7-year-old game, but I would love to know more about why Do felt. Oh, I don't read these in advance. I swear to God.
Oh no.
Why Do felt so bad after playing Undertale. I guess you could feel guilty if you did a non-pacifist route your first time through, but did he realize that the game isn't really supposed to end there and you can get a very happy ending on a subsequent playground? I think he means playthrough. By doing things the right way. Knowing him, though, he probably wouldn't bother replaying it. I think that's a joke. But I'd still love to hear more of his thoughts. Also, we'll do the also later. I promise you, I would have warned you. I don't read these in advance.
I'm not upset at all about it. I don't mind talking about it. It's, it wasn't about the ending at all. It wasn't whether the ending was sad or happy. It was that every single person on this globe, on this earth, loves this game except for one person, and that person is me. And that it made me feel like an outcast. It made me feel like I'm missing something that everybody is clearly seeing with this, and I just don't understand it. And it made me feel personally, it made me feel stupid. Now, this is just a me thing. This is a very psychological thing that I've never, like, you know, I haven't gone to a therapist about this, but like, yeah, this is totally a me thing. You know, like if people love something and I don't like it, or vice versa, I feel like I've failed somehow. And again, it's a little irrational, or maybe a more than a little, but like that's what messed with me with this Undertale game.
Well, I think
more
everybody
than anything else
can empathize with the pang of sadness when you experience something that you know is largely loved and you don't get that. And just that feeling overall, I think a lot of people can identify with that.
Malik Halo says, have you thought about liking it?
And that's it. Just like it.
Just like
Nice.
Also, I know what you mean, and I've experienced that feeling. I don't feel it the same way, but I know what you mean. But also, I want to say it is very loved by many people, but it's not a only you thing. There are plenty of people who also don't like
and nobody likes
appreciate
those
the
people.
game.
I would prefer you to truly, I mean, I don't want you to be like sad and suffer, but I would prefer for you to truly dislike it over people who poo-poo on things because everyone likes them.
Yeah.
You know, like I would much rather, I guess I don't want to rather it for you. For me, I would really rather just dislike it than to be like pretentious about like, well, I don't like it because everyone else likes it. Like
if you're being pretentious and saying you don't like it because everybody else likes it, that's your motivation. Those reasons, while not poo-pooing the people who do like it, is something that we should all do.
Peace and love, as our friend Do does.
And something we could all strive to do better at, I think. And I'm learning that as well, because even though I didn't think I was doing that, some of the words or ways or approaches I took could come across like that. So I'm learning and working on it and trying my best, because as I've said before, I love these conversations. But yes, there's certain things you've encountered, be it games or movies or whatever, where and applause for these things. And if you don't feel that, I
Neon
understand
Genesis Evangelion is another one for me that everybody loves. Like my favorite directors in all walks of cinema love this show. And like, I feel so dumb because I watched it and I don't get it. And then I watched countless like explain the ending of this show to me and I still don't get it. And I don't know why I don't get it. And I feel like it was a waste of a lot of time in the beginning, at least, of that show. And you know, I was scouring the internet for someone who felt like me, and they don't. Everyone's too smart. Everyone's very smart. They know what that means in that show. Yes.
Also, something I've noticed about me and you, and this is not a positive or a negative thing, it's just something I've noticed. I really love movies, TV shows, and games that make me think and explore and question and wonder. And you tend to not like those things. And that's not a good or a bad thing. It's just I like when shows are more secretive and closely guarded and make me wonder and question and try and figure things out. And I feel not that you dislike those, but you lean more towards shows that don't have that as an element to them. And there's nothing wrong with that. And Neon Genesis and Undertale are full on that direction. So I mean, it makes sense to me how you feel or the experiences you had with those games. So again, not an everybody thing, but I understand what you're saying. They also say, have you played Life is Strange? If he felt the same way about, if he felt the way that he felt about Undertale, I can't imagine him liking that game.
No, I love Life is Strange, one of my favorite games. And again, it's just because of the previous question he didn't realize,
Yeah,
or whoever wrote this question didn't realize that
Justin.
it's not about the game itself or the ending or the story. It was about, me not liking Undertale and everybody else in the world liking it. So Life is Strange, I did really like it, and
that's
it
like,
didn't really matter what other people thought of that one, even though I guess people do like that.
see, like Life is Strange and Undertale. That's another, like Life is Strange. I love, I love that game. One of my favorites too. But that's a very like,
I could
there's
never
no
play it again.
exploration there as
Yeah.
far as like, there's interesting thoughts you can have and interesting discussions we have, but there's no nebulous anything to it. There's no like looking inside or like pondering things. It's, you get a very direct story, but you and I both love that game, and I could never replay it either because the way the story went for me when I played the first time is my story. That's the Life is Strange for me, and other people can get different stories from it, which is how it works for Undertale and Neon Genesis. To tell you the truth, it's just there's a lot more of the nebulous stuff with those games. But yeah, I can watch others play Life is Strange, and I love doing that. I've seen it happen because I want to see what they do and where they differ and how things change in the conversations that happen. But yeah, as far as me replaying, I would where they differ and how things change in the conversations that happen. But yeah, as far as me replaying, I would also never do it because that the way things went for Max and Chloe, right? That's how it went for me. So I am with you on there. Thank you for the question, Justin. Anybody else to say on this since it was about you? Do anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I know you were being very peace and love, and it's not your fault, but you saying what you said made me feel stupider. But again, that's a me thing. So I mean, just being like
nice.
you, I know you were, and that's why I want you to know that I know you weren't trying to hurt my feelings. It's just when you say you don't understand nebulous things, if you have to think about the story, you don't like it, makes me feel stupid.
No, I didn't mean it like you don't.
It's a me thing.
I don't mean like you don't understand it or like you're not capable of thinking those things. I just think you prefer a story that is more direct. Like, I just think that I'm not saying you don't have the capacity or the interest, but when it comes to storytelling,
like,
I think
hello,
you like
Twin
something
Peaks.
that's like told.
Yeah,
mean-
I love Twin Peaks, and I couldn't tell you what the heck that's about.
Yeah, and you do a lot of like,
That's the monkey wrench.
Yeah.
That one I can't figure out.
yeah. So I think it's probably just
There's something in there that I need to that I want to figure out. I don't need to figure it out, but what
But like,
what is
I don't know. Maybe you can, but like, could you tell me what happens in Twin Peaks? Like, could you sum it up for me? Like, whereas like I feel like you guys are good at, you two are good at summing up Neon Genesis. Like, you both sum that up pretty good, and you summed Undertale up pretty good. I can't. I don't. Why?
I mean, we've had many talks talking about Twin Peaks and what we think it means, and what symbolism there is, but like that's
But
see,
you
like there's a
saying, like,
nebulous
if somebody
thing.
told you like sum up Twin Peaks, I'd be like, which season? Like,
There's like with Neon Genesis and Undertale, there's a whole nebulous thing to it it's very clearly trying to do something, but it does something, and it does that in a way that involves a lot of thought and a lot of symbolism and stuff like that. With Twin Peaks, it's like 4 more layers than that, and you don't know if there's anything really there because that's Lynch's approach. Like, he said multiple times, I put it in there because I liked it. It doesn't mean anything. So with that, you can get meaning from it. You can glean information from it or feelings or whatever. But when the man who makes it literally won't explain it and has said multiple times, there's things I do just because I like it, then, it's hard. You can, on a very surface level, say what Twin Peaks is about, but you can't really parse it because the man just makes what he. It doesn't mean anything to him in some regards. So it's just he made it because he likes it, and it has things that he likes in it, like camera shots that linger on people forever. Sometimes they don't mean anything, and he just likes it. That's all there is to it. He's not trying to say anything. It's just that's pleasing to him. So,
well, that's why I think that as a viewer of Twin Peaks, I think you can watch it, intensely, or you can kind of watch it and relax. And there's just a magic about that show in that way.
Maybe that's what it is. There's like Twin Peaks is whatever you get from it is what you get, and whatever story you pull from it that's right. Whereas like Neon Genesis and Undertale, they are trying to say things. They just do it in a very like layered way. So when those dots aren't connected, I can see it being frustrating. But with Twin Peaks, whatever.
I
whatever.
wonder what would happen if you looked the stuff up before you watched. So like when we talk about learning, and it doesn't have to be kids, it's everybody, right? You have to have like think of it as like a closet, right? To kind of hang all of your information in. And if you don't have the closet, the information doesn't really have the right place to go, and it like gets jumbly. So I wonder if you like went into it with like some direction to say like, here's what most people think this is about. Like when I was watching Evangelion in the beginning, I like didn't realize until after it was over, because I thought it was going to go one way and then it went a completely different direction, but it so subtly went that direction that all of a sudden you were like, oh my God, like what? Like, so I wonder if you like, I think you're so open minded to all of the things that are happening that you might not even be able to like, there's just too much for you to be able to like, I don't know, like maybe it's more of not that you don't want to wonder, but that you wonder about every possibility and then you can't
grasp any of it.
Yeah. Like there's just, you're going in 75 directions and no one could possibly like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like I said, I love these conversations. I understand your
but something like Undertale you wouldn't want that spoiled. Like you wouldn't want to know anything about that going in. That's kind of the point, right? Like
yeah, there's things you could know, because the whole aspect of Undertale, knowing, watching, and reacting to literally everything you're doing, that could be kept a secret, and you could still describe some other things going on in the game. Or like Doki Doki Literature Club, you could very much talk about some aspects of that game without ruining what's really going on behind the scenes in that game. So you could tiptoe around things and not ruin it, and might provide a pathway to a better appreciation, or a better experience, I guess I should say. Not even appreciation, just a better experience with the game. I don't know, but I love this kind of stuff. So I'm always looking for the next game or movie or TV show that gives me that kind of feeling.